At Cereals 2015 this year, you can see all varieties of winter wheat on the recommended list, plus the candidates, and you also get the opportunity to speak to the demonstrators. In this video, we're going to take you through some of the main points of the high-yielding, so-called barn-filling Group 4 feed varieties. Hard Group 4 varieties tend to be the highest-yielding varieties on the recommended list. And new to the list for 2015 is Reflection, which is at the top of the list. It combines a very high treated yield in all of the regions, stiff straw, early maturity and a good specific weight. It has a good package of disease resistance and has resistance to orange wheat blossom midge and has resistance to mildew and yellow rust. These characteristics have given high yields in untreated trials, making it a high yielding, relatively low risk variety to grow.
Evolution first came onto the recommended list in 2014 and is another very high-yielding, hard-milling feed variety. It can give you high yields in second wheat situations and on a range of soil types, but it can give you a low specific weight. Agronomically, it has resistance to orange wheat blossom midge and good resistance to both yellow and brown rust, and it has no serious weaknesses as far as disease is concerned. KWS Gator first came onto the recommended list in 2013 and is another example of a high-yielding feed wheat which gives high yields, particularly in second wheat situations. It can, however, give you lower specific weight. Agronomically, Gator is a variety which is short-strawed but later maturing. It has resistance to orange wheat blossom midge, but one area which will require attention is yellow rust, and this variety is susceptible to this disease.
KWS Santiago is recommended for the East and West region and has been extremely popular as a hard milling feed wheat. It's high yielding and has performed well in a range of soil types and rotational positions, and although it tends to give a rather low specific weight. Agronomically, it's stiff-strawed and resistant to orange wheat blossom midge, but it is susceptible to both mildew and septoria.
Dickens is a Group 4 feed variety which provides you with a good yield. Agronomically, it's relatively early maturing, but it's only moderately resistant to lodging. It does, however, have good resistance to mildew, yellow rust and brown rust, but attention to detail is required because it is more susceptible to eye spot.
Costello was new for 2015. It's a hard milling, short strawed feed with high Hagbergs and very high specific weights. Its treated yield potential is around 3% below that of the highest yielding feed variety, but it has given very high yields in untreated trials due to high resistance to mildew, to yellow rust and to brown rust. Limited data we have suggests it's rather susceptible to eye spot though.
We now move on to KWS Gator, which is another hard feed variety, high yielding feed variety, which has a stiff straw and also performs well in a second wheat situation. KWS Gator has good resistance to yellow rust, but it is susceptible to brown rust.
JB Diego came onto the list back in 2008, and it remains a very popular variety with growers due to consistent performance over the years. Although its yield is now 5% below the highest yielding variety in the group, it tends to achieve a high specific weight.
Relay first came onto the recommended list in 2012. It's a hard feed milling variety which is recommended for the East and West regions. It's a short stiff strawed variety and it has good resistance to yellow rust and brown rust, but attention to detail is required for eye spot.
Grafton came onto the list back in 2009. Although its yield is now 7% below the top yielding varieties, it's another variety that has slow primordial development and is proved suitable for very early sowing. And it also tends to give a good specific weight and has short and very stiff straw. For more recommended list videos, visit our YouTube channel on HGCA UK.